Hey yo, what is going on everybody? It's your boy X coming at y'all with a brand new video, and in this video we'll be covering limited and the best cards that you guys can go ahead to use to get your ring throughout this weekend. So if you guys are excited, make sure you guys smash that like button down below, as well as comment your favorite card that maybe we cover in this video, or just in general that you've used in limited recently. Let me know that, and subscribe if you guys are new. We are on that road to 10k subscribers. It would really mean a lot if you guys could smash that. We're almost there. So please hit the like button. So first off, we have to cover the limited rules, obviously, for the weekend. And as you guys can see, here they are. So first off, let's zoom in a little bit. And they are game conditions. All heat check players are allowed. Now, obviously, all these heat check players are pretty rare, so the odds of you actually, getting a few of them, probably pretty slim. But, you could go ahead and mess around with a few of them. You want to limit it to 1 amethyst and 1 ruby player. That's aside from the heat check cards, and we'll cover some really good ones that you guys should go ahead and use. No diamond players or higher are allowed, and no free agent cards. You can already see as well that I already have my ring down there, and once you collect 6, you will get a Galaxy Opal Russell Westbrook, which is gonna be pretty nice if we're being honest. So with this limited weekend, I'll just show you. I put a lineup real quick of just 5 cards that I really liked using, and let me tell you guys really quick here, this is the card that you're gonna want to use. Ruby Markel Fultz is a card that basically everybody just needs on the team. I went ahead and picked up this Ruby Markel Fultz. I didn't exactly, think he was going to be that great. But 6 for 4 at the PG is actually super solid. And if you check out the stats on this Markel Fultz card, he's actually insane. We have an 87 mid-range, a 91-3, an 85 driving dunk. Like, dude, he can do everything. We have an 86 ball handle, which is great, an 84 steal, an 82 perimeter defense, and we have super nice speed to, help us glitch around a court like that, which is going to be really nice. We also have a lot of really good badges, 37 of them in total on next gen, and basically they cover everything. We got a lot of finishing, a lot of shooting, which is great, including clamps and posterizer, circus threes, deep threes, like literally everything that you would want on a card you have on this Markel Fultz. He seriously is one of the best in the game. Now when it comes to his animations, he has the Steph Curry jump shot, so he's basically just a Ruby version of the pink diamond Steph, which is great. Can still play defense, all of that wonderful stuff. No Curry slide, but does have the magic behind the back and the athletic leaner, which is gonna be great. Think this card is going for around 15 to 20k. I've pre-recorded this video, or I am pre-recording this video, so this specific card may have gone up or down in price depending on how much hype he has. But seriously, this Markel Fultz will make all of your grinding easier. For a while, I was using Amethyst Chris Paul just because another really, really good card. But this Markel Fultz blew Chris Paul out of the water. So, I love Chris Paul. One of the best budget PGs in the game. But Markel Fultz is just that much better. Like, seriously. Now, when it comes to the 2-guard, if you don't want to run Markel Fultz, you have other guys you have in mind. Maybe you got a sapphire that you like. Maybe you're trying to use, Walt Frazier because he's got the defense, and you have somebody else that you want to use at the other, spots, I guess. You can definitely do that. So at the 2 other Ruby guys, maybe you could run. One that I recommend to everybody is Nick Anderson. Absolutely beautiful card. Really does everything, and I mean everything well. Locks it down, clamps up really well, and has gold deep threes on a card that is super cheap and super nice. So pretty solid and a good release. Also, the Ruby Lou Dort is a pretty solid one. A little bit undersized at the 2, but he has an 87 shot 3, a pretty solid release, a good 85 driving dunk, and the defense go crazy. So if you are a little bit iffy on who you want to run, I think this Lou Dort would be a nice little, budget option that you can come in there and just have somebody to really lock it down and clamp it up. If you are having a little trouble stopping people, this Lou Dort can do it to anybody from the 1 to 3. The 4 and 5s, hell no, but pretty good there. Another card that I recommend to everybody all the time is Emerald Jeff Green. Emerald Jeff Green is seriously, and I mean seriously, the best Emerald in the game and plays out of his mind. Low-key, to me at least, plays like a Ruby. Is super solid, is super nice, and really, really just good overall because he's got a really money release. He's 6'8", and he has just really good all-around stats that just allow him to play everything pretty well, along with an 82 perimeter defense and some decent badges. Like, they're definitely not too bad. Other cards, I love the Patrick Williams. This one, again, isn't the correct Evo that you want. I think I have Athletic Evo on my Patrick Williams. You want the Defense Evo, so make sure you pick up the correct one and not the incorrect one like I did. But once you do, it'll help you out. And then I also have Amethyst LAMARCUS Aldridge, because LAMARCUS Aldridge is actually a decent guy to run there. Has a good post game. He has a really good 3-point shot of 85 and 90 midi. We have some pretty good dunking and pretty solid defense and rebounding for a guy that's going to be playing our center. But there are some pretty good other amethysts that have dropped that you could use as well to really kind of make it work, because why would you want to sit at 1? There's a new card that did drop today in the flash set over here who is a power forward, GLEN Davis. Obviously, people don't really love GLEN Davis that much. I mean, who really gets up and thinks about using a GLEN Davis card like that? But if I'm being honest, this card is actually pretty solid. Has jump shot 38, which is actually a pretty solid jump shot, one of the best from last year. And 6'9" at the power forward center, if you like the small ball, is pretty solid. An 88 midi, an 83-point shot again with that jumper is pretty nice. A good post game, good dunking all around, and we have some solid all around defense, rebounding, and speed for a center. One Hall of Fame badge and Backdown Punisher on next gen, and we have 34 really good badges overall. And because of that, I think he plays pretty well. So another card that you could use, both from these flash sets that do a bit of work, it can really help out I think a lot of players that may be kind of struggling at the position. Another one that I think works really well, just to kind of throw in, is always the Sapphire Karl Anthony Towns, who might actually be on this side. Was I tripping? Oh, I'm in Series 1. Sorry, he's in Tip-Off East and West from Season 2. Over here, the Amethyst Karl Anthony Towns is pretty solid just because he's a nice stretch big. If you like, centers that are going to be spacing the floor and really hitting some threes, I think he's really good. Has some nice dunking and all that sort of stuff, and he meshes really well with the Ruby Markelle Fultz you're going to be running. Again, I'm going to keep saying it, run Ruby Markelle Fultz because he's super solid, and then have guys play your 2 like Jordan Clarkson, or even another Sapphire that I really like is Matt Barnes. Like, running these guys at your 2s really could help, just because they're offensive demons. Matt Barnes hits all the threes in the world and still plays really good defense, so I would definitely recommend Barnes over it. But yeah, pretty solid lineup here. If you're somebody who likes a more traditional big man, still at the Amethyst position, over here in the double take set, we do have a Sean Kemp, which is okay for a stretch big, and Patrick Ewing, I think, who's better for those more traditional big men that just kind of hit the mid-range, play in the post, get rebounds, and do all of that sort of stuff, which is, pretty solid all around. I think, he's not too amazing, he's not too bad. There also are a few Series 2 cards that are, like, okay to run if you wanted to, like Joel Embiid. He's okay playing at the center. I don't love him, but he's definitely not terrible. And Jokic, also an Amethyst who's okay, but again, wouldn't really recommend it. Go with some of the other guys on there. Other Rubies that are still very good, I still recommend, a Markelle Fultz or a Nick Anderson, because they play, out of their mind, if we're being honest. But there was a new Idol Series card that did drop as well over here. Should be, there he is, Gary Harris, who is an amazing Ruby, because at 6'4", he kind of just has an all-around game. I'm not going to compare to Wade because that is so unfair. We're moving down to Nick Anderson. Obviously, you're not going to have deep threes like you do on Nick Anderson, but you do have a nice midi, a nice 3-point shot, a pretty good release. You have better dunking, better playmaking, better all-around defense on Gary Harris, as well as better speed. A little bit undersized, but we do have a lot of gold badges, and I mean a lot of badges, including gold clamps and things like that. So Gary Harris, a nice little Ruby to run as well. That really helps out. If you were somebody that has done a lot of the Amon Shumpert challenges for Win the Weekend last season, he's another really good Ruby to go ahead and run in there. I gotta find it. Oh, he's a 2 card. So Amon Shumpert is pretty good as well, because Amon Shumpert can hit the 3-ball a bit, can really play good defense, and slashes to the basket really well. So again, if you don't want to run Markelle Fultz, a little too expensive for you, and you did play Seasons of Giving, you can get yourself an Amon Shumpert. I think that works very well for guys that run the 3. If you have one of these cards and you're thinking about running them, I think it's from the Underdog set. No, International. There we go. Down here, Ruby Andrew Wiggins, again, very solid option to go ahead and run at your 2, maybe your 3. So overall, you're going to want to look for guys, kind of like Markelle Fultz, for your PG position that can kind of do it all on offense. We can really shoot well, we can kind of dunk a bit, and still have some good defense, obviously good playmaking. Look for floor general and timer, can really help out there. Also a quick first step. For your 2 guards, you guys want basically 3 and D options. Personally, I love Matt Barnes, I love Nick Anderson, and they're really good options for that. If they have deep threes, even better. But if they don't, clamps and all this sort of stuff will work pretty fine. So look for things like that to help you out a little bit. Again, for the 3, I tend to look for a bit of a 3-and-D option there, mainly on the defensive end, you know, like Patrick Williams, like Jeff Green, and things like that. But somebody like a Ruby Andrew Wiggins, or maybe even a Dort, if you're like that and want to run Dort, could work really well, because they can get the 3s, they can play the defense, and even with Wiggins can slash really well. For the power forwards, this is kind of like a jack of all trades player that you're kind of looking for. I like the defensive Patrick Williams because he has really good defense, a nice jump shot to still hit it there, can still drive. He gets some nice things, and it's still really quick and really nice. And then for your centers, this one is a little bit based off of who you would like. I personally like a kind of stretch big that can still hit it a little bit, so LaMarcus Aldridge for me works really well. But again, if you don't like that, you can go for some other cards. And even if you don't, you know, have a LaMarcus Aldridge and you want a cheaper version of a kind of stretch big, this Sapphire, Chris Bosh works really well as a nice 3-point shot, pretty solid defense, solid rebounding, but I have gone with Porzingis for a while because he's just super tall, super nice, and can still hit the 3-ball really well with a really nice release. So just good defenders in the paint area, can kind of hit the 3-point shot, rebound well, and are decently fast. Around a 75 speed is kind of what you want to be looking for a center, and then make sure your team just works well. Head yourself up into limited and make sure you pick as many times as you can. Never go for that first one. If it doesn't have the ring, always go left or right. I always go right, but if you always want to go left, you can. And remember that there are heat check cards in here that you can go ahead and pick up and have some fun with that are pretty nice. Although most of them are pretty expensive, so I would stay away from them just because they're basically the current 21 NBA cards with different card art. So it's not too worth it. Let me know what cards you guys are going to be using in your limited to get your ring this weekend as well. Let me know where you guys are currently on XP. Could be a fun time. Should have another video later on today talking about some XP as well and how you can go ahead and stack it up. We're level 17, but again, this was recorded day 1 of the season, so it'll probably be around 20 when this video is actually dropping. So yeah, subscribe if you guys are new, like the video, all that wonderful stuff. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next video.